Previously on The Gloves Are Off. This has got to be one of the most eagerly anticipated British title fights I can remember.
You can stick it on me and I'll stand right in front of you and go back at you, and every time it's happened, the other person has ended up on their back and my hand has been raised.
We've both got heart, but I know what's in this chest is going to bring a good fight.
Can this be anything other than a classic?
We had to wait a long time for this fight, but some fights are worth the wait, and this has been one of them. This is heavyweight boxing, and there is nothing quite like it. I don't think there's a single person inside this arena who is sure which way this one has gone.
Judge Michael Alexander sees the contest 114 to 113, Wardley. Judge Howard Foster sees it 115 to 112, Clarke. And finally, Judge Mark Bates sees it 113 to 113. This bout has been ruled a draw.
After an unforgettable first encounter, we pick up where we left off, round 13. Fabio Wardley, Frazer Clarke, welcome back to The Gloves Are Off. Boys, it's a privilege to be sat here between you both today. After the performance you put on back in March, you both should be proud, very proud of yourself. Are you?
Yeah, definitely. First 12-rounder, hellish 12-rounder. There was a lot of good to take from that fight.
How much did you have to think about taking this rematch?
Not a second. Not a second. I'm not one to shy away from big fights, big occasions, big moments, and especially after the first fight, there was nothing bigger. Ultimately, in British boxing at the moment, this is the biggest fight out there. It's the one everyone's asking for. So you can see from my style, I'm an entertainer and I'm here to give the fans what they want to see.
Frazer, did you think twice about it?
Not a second. Before I even got back to the changing rooms, I knew this was a fight I wanted again. I mean, Fabio spoke on the night about different options and I'm sure he had plenty. But I was pretty confident that he's a clever enough man. He knew this was one that made sense, you know. I just seen it as unfinished business, you know. I'm not really, as you can see on the images after the fight, I'm not into a draw, do you know what I mean? It hurt me like a loss, so I needed to run it back again.
Let's go back. What did you feel when you was walking into the ring?
That night, best ring walk I've ever done. The energy in the arena was mad, and I've got to give credit to the Ipswich fans because there was a lot of them, and true to form, they was giving me a lot of abuse. So, you know, it really fired me up, riled me up.
Fabio, let's go back to the fight. Round 2. Tell me about it.
Round
when
2.
You hurt this man. That was the first.
That was, yeah.
Was that hurt in round 2?
You were hurt, man. Big right hand. I've watched this fight over and over
I took
again.
a lot of right hands.
Johnny's done his research.
Yeah,
Johnny's done his research.
I don't remember it sticking out.
That must have been how big the punch was.
Must have been a big shot.
If you don't remember it.
Oh, big shot. Set his feet there, Wardley, and threw that right hand. And this is turning into a terrific fight.
There was a lot going on in that fight. There was a lot of moments in that fight where I had him hurt, had him going a bit. I think my follow-up was a bit off. But it coming early in round 2 and landing the right hand and knowing like, okay, cool, I can get to you, spurred me on a bit. And maybe a bit too much. Too much where I buckled up and thought, yeah, cool, all right, let's hunt this down and chase after him. And that's where I maybe messed up and kind of spoiled my own work a bit.
Round 5, disaster strikes.
Saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell. Mistake. Good pressure from Fabio.
Saved by the bell?
No. Good pressure from Fabio. I made a mistake. I did something, you know, it's almost a sin. You know, crossing your feet like that, going backwards, it's asking for trouble against a man that can punch. I'd say that shot that actually I fell over from was probably the deadest right hand that he landed in the fight. If you look, it was along with the rest of the flicks. So yeah, like I say, no discredit. He put me on my arse. I got up and we carried on.
Just looking to set about Frazer Clarke here. Throw plenty of punches. Clarke's defence was decent enough there though. He kept those gloves up. He's on the receiving end though. The straight right hand gets through. And he's on the run here. Down he goes. Fabio Wardley pursuing him across the ring. Landed a left and a right. And that was enough to put Frazer Clarke down.
Did he fall over?
Fell over is a bit of an understatement. If you fall over, no need for you to take the whole 10 count then, is there? You get straight back up.
That's cool.
That's
called experience, mate. That's called experience.
But if you just fell over, if I trip over on on a bit of wire on the floor, I'm not going to lay there for 10 seconds. No. I tripped over, I'm going to get straight back up.
You see, this. He just spoke about looking the part. There's a big difference. I'm a big, bold geezer with a belly. It doesn't matter to me about looking good. I do what's right.
No,
my experience and knowledge, mate.
Of course it matters. It matters how it looks to the judges. It matters how it looks to the fans. That if you got up and you want to show people that it was just a trip, a slip, or however you want to get straight back up and be like, no, I'm fine. That didn't even bother me.
Would that change the scorecards?
Of course it would.
It would have been a 10-8 round regardless.
It's not about that. It's about you looking the part. About the judges looking at you thinking, oh, okay, that right hand hit him. That hurt him. How's he going to look now going forward if he gets caught again? But I think that would be the smarts of looking at it. If you look at a punch and it didn't bother me at all, I'm straight back up on my feet. If I'm perfectly fine, I'm back on my feet. I'm letting you know. That's maybe not even just for the judges. For me, for you, you'd be like, no, I want to let him know that didn't bother me.
Well, you didn't follow up on it.
I couldn't. I knocked you down in 2 minutes and 59 seconds. That's why I said saved by the bell.
You should have timed it better, shouldn't you?
I should have got to you earlier.
Frazer, round 8, you flipped the script. You really turn it on. Put the pressure on.
Yeah, that's my job. It's our job to throw hands at each other. And listen, I've said a lot of nice things about Fabio since I fought. I've had nothing bad to say about him. He's tough. He's strong. He's game as they come. Listen, I had good moments throughout the fight. So did he. And it's only now that I'm sitting here again. I've got nothing bad to say about him. I just want to punch him again. And I'm sure he feels the same.
Fabio, were you starting to feel the pace, round 8?
I was feeling the pace all the way through the fight. Like, don't get me wrong, I've come from doing, the max I've ever been in the ring was 6 rounds. And in those 6 rounds, a relatively comfortable pace. With that fight, I was steamrolling round after round after round after round. So, yeah, going past 6, going to 8, going to 10, going to 12, I was feeling the rounds. But like he said, I've got the heart. I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. And to be fair, like he said as well, I'll give him his dues and his credit. I gave him a lot in the build-up and said, look, you haven't got the heart, you haven't got it in you. I'm going to take you into deep waters. And I did take him into deep waters. And to be fair, he swam with me.
Both of these two are going to have to go to places they've not been before. Heavyweight boxing is quite the sight, it really is.
You still got the scars of war.
Yeah, but what's that? We're not playing badminton here, are we? It's not tiddlywinks. We're here to box. You're going to come out with a few scars, scrapes, scuffs. He's got a few from picking up his in the Olympics where he got a big scar as well. Like, we're not here to mess around. I'm not trying to be a model post-boxing. I'm trying to win fights.
Round 10, the round that probably stands in everybody's memory. Were you both fighting on instinct, on gut instinct? What were you fighting on? Because you both looked tired.
Listen, I've watched the fight back. It was fought at a good pace. For 2 big men, it's fought at a good pace. Round 10, that little bit onwards, obviously, you learn a lot about yourself during the fight. And I just knew, we're at that stage where I felt like there was times where one shot he would have gone. There was probably times where if he landed one shot on me, I was going. But credit to him, credit to me. there's just a different thing inside. I can only speak for myself. There's a different thing inside me. You know, the will. I can understand why it was questioned, because performances up to that fight wasn't stand out. But you know, deep inside of me, Johnny, I knew what I'm made of. You know what I mean? I don't have to run around and scream it from the hilltops. I know that I'm a fighter. I know that I've got a lot of pride, and I knew that on that day, no matter what Fabio threw at me, you know, I wasn't going anywhere.
Except from down in the 5th round, but we'll skip that bit.
Yeah, it's a comedian.
This is the hurt locker for these two now, deep in the fight. It is still absolutely anyone's. Who can hold that technique together a fraction better? Who maybe wants this a little bit more? Wardley can barely see at times now. Was so close. Final seconds of round 10.
Let's be honest. Did either of you think of quitting
Not an
at
ounce.
any time through the fight?
Not an ounce. Too much heart, too much pride.
No.
I worked too hard for it.
No.
I trained too hard for it. It's my belt at the end of the day. I'm not just giving it up. I'm not just sitting on my stool and going, here you go, have that. I worked hard for it.
No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, I fought in control. Obviously, he had his moments, but he didn't ever, like he said, he didn't follow up on anything.
Never, none of you, not for one split second. When it was hard, when he was gassing, never.
Johnny, listen, if we're doing a press-up competition here, I might quit. If we're doing pull-ups, I might quit. If we're doing a marathon, I might quit. But this is a fight. You know, in a fight, I've got no quit in me. It's not happening. I'm not saying I'm never quitting nothing in my life. But in an actual fight, that's not inside of me.
By the way, who did win that fight?
You can get up again if you want, you'll go back down. You can get up a third time if you want, you'll go back down.
October 12th, I'm trying to put this through the back of his head.
Are you prepared to go to the dark places again?
I'll go there for the fun of it.
If you do not change from that first fight, you will get knocked out. I advise you to go and change.
Who did win that fight?
Me.
He celebrated at the end, didn't he? Like he did win it.
You don't believe you won the
I don't
fight?
think he won the fight. You know, and like I said, people would have spoke to him telling him he won the fight. People have done the same to me.
How did you feel?
I felt like I won the fight. I felt like I did enough. But you know, when we put everything into on the table, he was the champion. He had the majority of the fans there. You know, they shouted every time he even looked like he was going to hit me. They had the point off, the knockdown. Listen, it was a draw. I went there for belts. I went there for victory. I came away with nothing.
Look, a draw I'm never going to be happy with, no.
You looked like it.
I was happy that I retained my belts. A draw? No, not happy with it. Otherwise I wouldn't do the rematch straight away, would I?
No, well, of course you had to be convinced for that. You had to be talked into that.
Talked into it.
Afterwards, it was, we're going to look at the options.
I had
options.
options.
I'm back at the almost like I'm back in the line or something. Do you know what I mean?
Boys,
You had no options yourself.
Boys,
the only options you had were me.
Boys,
You got nothing else going on. You've got me.
I'd love to hear this carry on. Let's make the most of the time. October the 12th, let's look ahead. Can you stand up to this man again?
Of course. I stood 12 rounds toe to toe with him. Comfortably. I could do that again.
Comfortable.
I didn't hit the canvas.
You didn't look comfortable. It's comfortable and everything.
Looks can be deceiving.
But you didn't look comfortable, did you?
All right, the fight itself was a bit messy. Look, we're making a lot of a bit of blood.
No, I'm not. Who spoke about the blood? We bleed. We're in a fight. We're going to bleed. I'm not speaking. It just didn't look uncomfortable. Forget the blood. You didn't look comfortable.
Fabio, you said it was a 6 out of 10 performance from you.
It was. You look at my career. All of my performances have been way better than that. Way better. Cleaner, crisper, put together. His performance, best you've ever seen him.
So that was his best as far as you're concerned?
The best you've ever seen him.
So he's saying
it's the best you've ever
his
seen
performance
him.
is 6 out of 10. That's a diss to me. And that was your best performance. Is that right?
He's talking.
How is that wrong?
He's talking.
I've performed way better in every single one of my fights. And that is your best performance to
again,
date.
we go back to, listen, I've not really boxed anyone of any note, and neither of you. No one's come to win against me, really. And you know, you can say what you want. No one has against you. Like we spoke about Nathan Dorman, there was a favour. Eric Molina didn't really want to know. The other guy, the Coffee, you know, you threw a few shots at him. After my opinion, you was losing the fight. Referee jumps in.
You can't talk to me about resumes when you laboured through 10 rounds with Marius Wack. He's a 40-year-old.
Out of 10, what was your performance as far as you're concerned?
At the time, obviously, and everyone's saying, oh, it was great, it was great, it was great. It's fine, but when I watch it back, with my hands over my eyes. There's so many mistakes, so many opportunities I missed. Probably again, 6.
Do you not think at the end of the fight, when you slumped, you were shattered, exhausted, do you not think that sent a message to him for fight two?
The fight's already over. And to be honest, I sat on the ropes. The rope slipped from under my arse. It looked a lot worse than it was. Don't get me wrong. I was tired. So was he. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I was tired, but managed to stay on my feet, keep my hands raised, look the part.
Yeah, well, credit to you. You know, do you want a round of applause for that?
No, I don't want a round of applause. But I'm saying that's one, that's a mentality difference, and 2, a stamina difference. At the end of the fight, you need a break and a little lay down, and I'm ready to stand up.
Listen, for all the training and stuff that you post, I would expect you to be a superior athlete to me. You ain't. For all the videos you put on of doing this, grinding your butt off, doing this, all the quotes, you're not that fit.
I'm not that fit.
You ain't that fit.
No. So I didn't press you the whole time.
You ain't that fit.
For 12 rounds.
You ain't that fit.
So I didn't punch you up for 12 rounds.
Watch the fight back again. Punch me up.
For 12
if you
rounds,
punch
I had
me
you
up,
pressed
if you
around
punch
the
me up,
ring,
wouldn't have been a draw, would it?
I weren't fit.
No, you're not as fit as you think you are.
You fell through the ropes.
You're not as fit and you're not as good as you think you are.
No
Let me tell you that now.
No
and we will see.
Are you both prepared to do exactly the same again, even more, get that far, that deep into the fight? Are you both prepared to put your heart and soul on the line like you did the last fight?
Round
Because
13.
you've tasted it once.
Round 13.
Round 13, you're picking up where you left off.
I'm going straight back to work.
I'm prepared to do it. I'm going to use my brain a lot more. You know what I got dragged into? This is a war now. I ain't going to have to do that.
I'll bring you
That's
back.
a choice.
I'll bring you back.
Huh?
I'll bring you back.
Wardley. That's what you're doing, it.
That's what I was.
I'll throw this on the table.
I'll bring you back.
You block those shots with your face, man. See what happens.
It's all right. I was still standing. I didn't go nowhere, did I?
No.
What's the motivation, boys?
Win.
Something to the table.
Same as it always is, Johnny. I'm a competitor. I want to win.
Not personal?
It's not personal.
No,
listen,
it's not personal.
Listen, see,
It's not personal.
listen. Me and Fabio, we don't not get along. October 12th, I'm trying to put this through the back of his head. Believe it.
What's the one thing you've learned about this man?
Listen, I think going into that fight, we all knew he can punch. You know, he's not the biggest heavyweight, but I've seen it before. I've seen it many a time in different fighters, different weights, where people just have that little thing, you know, inside the fist. He's got it. He's a bit more skillful than I thought he was going to be. You know, for saying he's late coming into actual like professional boxing after his white collar background. Yeah, he's got a little bit more brains than I thought he had.
Fabio, what's the one thing you've learned about this man?
To be fair to him, he's got a lot of heart. I went into the last fight saying he was soft, saying I didn't think he had it, thinking he would break down mentally, give up, probably cop out after I put the pressure on, but I'll credit where credit is due. He rode the wave with me, stayed in the fight, kept it game, kept it going. So look, he's got that dog in him. He has got that dog in him, so I will give that to him.
Who's prepared to go to those dark places again?
Come on, Johnny. I want to hurt him. I want to beat him and I want to hurt him doing it, because you know when it's a draw, you feel like you want to put that extra stamp on it, do you know what I mean? So I'm ready to go where I need to go to. Always have been, always will be.
Do you want to teach him a lesson or just put him in his place?
No, there's no lessons to teach him. There's not even a place to put him in. Just want to take his head off his shoulders, that's all. And prove my point.
Are you prepared to go to the dark places again?
Come on.
I know, you got to tell him.
I go there for the fun of it, for no reason. I don't have to. Sometimes I can just box. My corner screams at me, box, do this, do that nice, I'll be cuter here, do this. No. Let's go for a swim.
What's the one key ingredient you'll need for this rematch, Frazer?
to do what I've been practicing to do since the second I came out of the ring. You know, like I said, the key to rematches is learning from your mistakes. I've definitely learnt from mine.
What's the key ingredient to win this fight?
I had him going numerous times in the fights. I should have noticed some of them a bit better. There was, upon watching it back and watching the film, I've watched it back loads of times over, there was lots of moments where I had him going and I could have followed up on the situation a lot better. But getting to that situation and having him hurt, getting him damaged, backing him up around the ring, those all things work nicely. It's just the finish now.
In a word, yes or no? Will this one end inside the distance?
Yes.
Yes.
How can you be so sure?
Because I'm going to knock him out.
I got him there once before. Just do it a bit earlier in the round and he's gone.
Got me where?
On the floor. Remember that time?
You know when you got on the floor, does that mean the fight's over?
No.
You keep me there. I got up. You need to pin me down, mate. Do your best.
Bro, it was 2 minutes and 58 seconds of the fifth round.
But did I get up?
You got up. But if that's in the 30
So why
seconds...
why you keep going on about
Because
it?
if that's in the 30 seconds of the round, a minute of the round, minute and a half, I'm on you again, you're out.
If. It never happened. It's a fantasy.
No, the reality is you hit the canvas.
Yeah,
So
and got up.
The reality of that is it's happening again. So you can get up again if you want, you'll go back down. You can get up a third time if you want, you'll go back down.
You can't keep me down. You didn't. Why didn't you do it last time?
I did.
So why did the round after? You get a minute after.
Did I hit you that hard?
What about the next round?
You don't remember hitting the canvas.
What about the next round?
Do you remember sitting there looking around and
what about the next round?
And touching the canvas? Do you remember seeing all that and looking up and looking at the ref?
Of course.
And him doing all this in your face, counting numbers. Do you remember all that?
Yeah.
So you did hit the floor then?
Yeah.
So okay, so if I've done it once,
I've not denied it.
Can it be done again?
You got to keep me down.
No,
I don't think you're good enough to do it.
If I've done it once, can it be done again?
Do it.
You don't think I can do it again?
No.
So what are you saying? Like I've got weaker, I've got worse, I've got dumber. Like what are you talking about?
Possibly.
Boys, does this...
You was never that clever in the beginning, mate, so I don't know how we get that dumber.
Does this rivalry end October the 12th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jinx.
On the 12th, end of that fight will be a full stop.
Last chance, boys. State your case. Last chance to get it off your chest.
There's nothing left. We've said it. Honestly, we did a whole big thing before for the first fight. So much to say, so much back and forth. All I'm saying is round 13, we're carrying on. I'm doing the same stuff. There's nothing
changes.
There's nothing left to do. There's no more bravado. There's no more this, that, back, forth.
You remain the same. I will change, and I will knock you out. If you do not change from that first fight, you will get knocked out. I advise you to go and change. Or you can be naive and stupid and stay the same. It's up to you.
We've got two men here that have earned each other's respect. Can I get a handshake?
Yeah, of course. Listen, I like to feel these soft hands. You know what I mean? It's soft. He talked about me being soft before, but no.
Got to look after the tools, didn't you? Come on.
Let's do it on the 12th. Hit it. Nice one, boys.
Cheers.
All sweet.
All fun and games.
Yeah, come on.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.